Okay guys, I read Shadow and Bone. So I read the first book in the series, and I also read the entire series. I finished the series right now, so you will see that video coming soon. But I read Shadow and Bone, and I'm going to tell you how it compares to the TV show. So if you've seen the TV show, it's only one season as of right now, but it did get renewed for a second. And Shadow and Bone follows like Elena, and there's the Darkling, Mal, that's who his name is, and then there's Mal. So those are like the three main characters that we kind of see in the first season. And yeah, I liked the show. I thought it was a pretty decent average show. It kept me interested to want to see a second season, and kept me interested to want to actually read the book series. So in the first season of the show, it follows the Shadow and Bone series, and it also has the Crows. So there's a duology after this series, and it has the book Six of Crows, and so it has Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom in the duology. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's currently trash day, and it's a nice day. My window's open, 74 degrees in November, so my windows are open. I'm so sorry, but we're gonna keep going. So yeah, so that's the first season, and after reading the entire series, what I originally thought was that they mixed both the series together that followed the books directly, but that is not the case. So we see the Shadow and Bone series, and then the duology that comes after this series is kind of like a prequel to that, of the Six of Crows. So you kind of see them before what actually is written in the books, like a little bit before of how their group forms. So yeah, that's what you'll see in the first season, a mixture of the duology and this trilogy. So after reading the book and watching TV show, I kind of like at least compared to this book and the first season, I liked what they did in the show. I liked how they mixed the characters and the series together. So I kind of like the book a little bit better. The show a little bit better than this book. But if you like the show, you'll probably enjoy this book. This first season is like, this whole book is basically the first season minus whatever the Six of Crows is in. But it follows it pretty much to a T of the whole first season of Shadow and Bone. So yeah, if you have seen the show, you won't really get spoiled too much of anything new in this book. So if you want to start it and then continue on the series, I say go for it. So yeah, like I said, the first season pretty much follows this book step by step. We have Nina and Mal, they're together, and then Nina finds out she's the sun summoner at a camp, and then the Darkling takes her to, what is it, the first palace or something? Little palace, whatever, the palace where all the Grisha train. Takes her there and shows her abilities, they train her and everything, so that's the same. We kind of find out who the Darkling is in here, like you do in the first season, like his origin and all these things. So yeah, it's pretty much 2T, and then the end, it pretty much ends where the show ends. Like Nina and Mal are like escaping, and the Darkling is still like free, like he's back, he's still there, he's not dead or anything like that. So yeah, it follows it pretty much to T. There were some differences in the book between TV show, as there always will be. There were some things they changed in the show that I definitely agreed with. I'm literally trying to go back in my notes because I don't remember, because I read it so long ago. Yeah, so you're really just seeing Nina's point of view, and within the show you're getting multiple points of view. You're seeing Mal and he's chasing after the stag and all these things, and you're seeing how much he misses Nina and things like that. So I appreciate that, because in this book we only get Nina's point of view, and Nina's not my favorite character, let's be honest. Like, she's the main character, but I'm just like, girl, come on. She's just not my favorite person. And I liked how they had multiple point of views in the TV show. So I enjoyed that aspect. There was another part about, oh, how she got her scar on her hand. So I remember she never whenever fixing her up to make her look good, she never wanted to get rid of the scar she had. And to me, the way they did in the show was a whole lot better than how they did in the book. But how they, if I remember correctly, guys, it's been a while since, so please forgive me. If I remember correctly, how she got it in the book was like Mal came back after a long time and they were like hugging and embracing, and she was holding, you know, something, some type of glass or something, and it gave her that mark on her hand, but she didn't care because Mal was back and all this thing. So I guess you could say she like kind of officially found out her true feelings for Mal. In the book, like, that was that instance, so she wanted a reminder of it, but I was like, I just didn't like that. I liked how they did in the show better. She got that mark also with a strong bond with Mal, just like saying that they're never gonna leave her, but it was when she held something so hard so that when they tested her, they wouldn't know that she was the Sun Summoner. So she like cheated the test. And at least in the show, it's like she would do anything to stay with Mal. Like, their bond is so strong, like they don't want to be separated. And so I liked how that version in the show was. And if I'm wrong, guys, I'm sorry. Just correct me in the comments so other people know. But that was that in the book. Something else that they showed better in the TV show than in here was the relationship between Mal. Or like, I guess they did it differently. So you can see Nina has strong, whoa, not Lena, Alina. She has strong feelings for Mal. Like, she likes him more than a friend, but she believes he doesn't like her more than a friend, so she just, like, you know, kept the friend vibe. In the show, how it was portrayed, at least to me, that they were both friends, equally friends, and they didn't realize how much they cared for each other until they were both separated from each other, until she had to go away, and, you know, they're writing to each other, didn't get the letters, and so you couldn't see how they felt about each other and kind of expressing their feelings for each other, but they didn't really know how each other felt, and that's when they really believed, like, oh, I kind of like this person more than a friend. So I like that, how there's more mutual. The way they did in the book was fine. It just, to me, it was the same story, just it gave off different vibes. Like, this gave off like Mal had no feelings, it was only one-sided. The show gave off they both were friends and felt the same way equally, but once they were separated, they both realized they care for each other more than they thought. So yeah, another thing was the Darkling. I liked the Darkling in the book a little bit better than the one in the show. Even though I think the one in the show is a great Darkling, just the way he was described in the book didn't really fit what I thought the Darkling would be in this show, if that makes sense. So it just, in the show, he does look older than her, like, at least in my opinion. They don't look the same. He does look not significantly, but he does look like an older man, and she looks like a young girl. And I'm just not a big fan of age gap things, so that's why it's like, it's weird to me. In the book, because he doesn't age, she describes him like, oh, he kind of looks my age, maybe might be a little older. So maybe like a 5-year gap or something like that. But he still looks relatively similar to her age, because he never aged because he's the Darkling and things like that. So that's why I was like, okay, I can understand why she felt, well, some people like very older men, so whatever. But I can like, okay, this dude looks like someone who's around her age, even though he's like old and all these things. I'm like, okay, I can more understand how she fell for him. In the TV show, I understood somewhat, but I'm like, girl, why are you falling for this old man? But in the book, to me, it felt more realistic why she would fall for him. See, those were some things that were a bit different, portrayed a bit differently. One of the things also was the collar as well. I believe in the show, like, the collar goes into her and becomes part of her. The collar that's put on the antlers and everything for the stag. But in the show, yeah, that's in the show, but in the book, it doesn't go away. It's still there. She just keeps the collar and she has this thing around her neck the whole time. Which, honestly, they cut that in the show, whatever, but it was just, like, interesting. I didn't like how it looked, but, you know, it's not my book. I'm glad they put it so, like, it's not sticking out anymore. It was only for that short period of time. But yeah. But also the big difference, like I mentioned before, between this and the show was that the crows are not in this. So you're not getting the point of view with Jasper. Okay. Jasper, Kaz, and Nej. You're not getting their point of view either. You're just getting Nina, Mal, and the Darkling. Like, that story. And really it's only Nina's point of view, which is, like, annoying. Not annoying, it's just like, it's okay. So you're not getting those different perspectives. I like in the show how they brought them in earlier in the story and mixed it all in. I think that added more to it, because I think if they just had this, no, I don't think it would have been as good as it was. But yeah. So yeah, that's the book versus the TV show for the Shadow and Bone series. Again, keep a lookout for the full series, because I've read the full trilogy and the duology that is after that. So hopefully that video will be coming up somewhat soon, so you guys can see what I thought of the entire series. I will be trying to watch the second season of Shadow and Bone. I am interested, and we'll see what I think. I wonder if that season will follow mostly the second book, or what kind of will happen. But yeah, if you like fantasy, maybe you want to check this out. I think this is more of a teen fantasy, more of like a basic fantasy. Like, I feel like I was a little confused with some of the Grisha stuff, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not a huge fantasy reader. But just the story was okay. Like, I feel like it's a good teen fantasy if you wanna read it. I feel like they had all the Grisha stuff, like they explained it, or they had like a chart or something. I don't know. I thought there was a chart of all the Grisha and their like levels and what they are. It's in one of these books. Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay. So it has all these, the Grisha, what they are. I still don't know what half of them do, but anyway, it's a good, I feel like, not too complicated fantasy if you want to read a trilogy. Overall, I thought it was okay. This wasn't my favorite book in the series, probably my least favorite, probably because I knew it was going to happen, but let's just say this wasn't my favorite book within the series. Okay? So yeah, that's the book versus the TV series for Shadow and Bone. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you understand what I like more. I mostly appreciate the show more, which honestly is unusual for me. Sometimes I usually like the book more, but I liked the show better than the book for this one. I just think because they mixed in some other books in the series, and it wasn't just this solo. But yeah, we'll see what book series I decide to read next and compare to the TV show. If you guys are interested in any more book content, definitely I'll link the playlist for all the book videos I've done below for you guys. You can go check those out. I've done Bridgerton, I've done Normal People, comparing the books to the series, and I've done a video of reading the entire Bridgerton series if you're interested in that as well. Until next time, guys, bye.